It's also President Biden who finds himself at the vice grip of employees who decide that they don't like his policies related to Gaza. That's causing an uproar with this administration across agencies. I think it is OPM's responsibility to ensure that there's confidence and transparency around the disciplinary system. Discipline is important in any organization. It was for my 16 years at AT&T, where employees were not running the business. The federal managers and the people who were the management were running that organization, were responsible to not just the results, but also to the shareholders. Well, I find that the taxpayer should be the winner in this, but also the policies that related to that electing officer. It is OPM's responsibility to ensure that there is confidence and transparency around the disciplinary system in the federal government. It is not enough to say, well, we just can't return to a patronage system. I think we must equally be wary of the civil service that is empowered and protected. They're entrenched and they are protected. Every virtue, when carried out to an extreme, is a vice. And I think that we're dealing with this circumstance now. So, Mr. Shriver, I'm going to present to you a series of questions, but essentially they revolve around this issue. What is OPM doing to ensure that federal employees are not, have not, and will not seek to undermine a president, either party, a duly elected president, of their agenda simply because they disagree with it? We have known for a long period of time, and we've seen Supreme Court cases. Chevron deference brings this issue up, but that was more the policy differences that the president brought as opposed to how it worked with law. We're talking about employees, civil service employees who are holding hostage not only key initiatives, but that administration that they serve, which is the taxpayer. So, would you support, in addition to the existing merit system principles, to state that all employees will fairly execute their duties without regard to their own political and policy preferences? And you don't have to answer these right now, but this is what's going to take place today. Would you support legislation to require an annual survey of federal managers with questions specifically designed to their role of managers? The managers of this federal government have been led to believe that they have to follow, and I think in many respects they do, the President of the United States or the direction that OPM gives. But it has very little to do with their ability to be able to get the work done, because this president has given direction that it's okay for federal workers to stay at home. And you and I do not disagree. It is not 100% of federal employees. It is a large group of employees. And yesterday we spoke specifically about one agency in particular, Millennium Challenge Corporation, that has decided, as a result of President Biden's leadership, they're going to form a union. And yet the word well within that agency is that the first thing that they would do is gather together as employees and decide not to report to work because they don't want to come to work. And yet that workplace, just like it might be federal law enforcement or other important agency, which Millennium Challenge is, it requires gathering together, working exercises, coordinated and knowing things that would be in the best interest of not just the taxpayer, but the policy chosen by that agency. And to be held hostage is a bad thing. When you're held hostage by employees from a civil service system that protects employees and puts a federal manager at a disadvantage, it is the essence of why we are engaging you. Mr. Chairman and the ranking member, I want to thank you for your allowing me to more accurately play this out. This is the essence of why we're here, and we appreciate your professionalism as you exhibited yesterday, as I'm sure you will exhibit today, and we will offer you the same professionalism back. Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member, I yield back my time.
Gentleman, yield